Alright, so if you're watching this right now, there's a pretty good chance that you're not exactly swimming in cash. And look, I get it. Times are tough. But here's the thing. I used to be the person who could make money pretty easily. But keeping it? That was a completely different story. I'd get a paycheck, feel good for 2 seconds, and then boom, it's gone. Rent, bills, random stuff I didn't even need. And I'd be right back to square one, wondering how the other people seem to actually build wealth, while I'm over here living like I'm broke, no matter how much I make. But then, I stumbled into something that completely changed the game for me. And I'm not talking about some complicated investment strategy or crypto scheme. I'm talking about a fundamental shift in how you think about money. And if you stick with me for next few minutes, I promise that will be the most valuable thing you learn all week. The trap, the game you don't realize you're playing. Okay, so let me paint a picture for you. Imagine you get a job working at an arcade. Here's the weird part. Instead of paying you in cash, they pay you in arcade tickets. You know, those long tickets that come when you're shooting onto a machine when you play games. At the end of every shift, you've got this massive stack of tickets in your hand. And you're excited, right? You're thinking, look at all these tickets I earned. I can get so many prizes from the prize counter. So you walk into the prize counter and start browsing. Maybe you get a stuffed animal, some candy, a cheap toy, whatever. You're standing there spending all your tickets on prizes. But here's the thing, and this is where it gets weird. What if I told you those tickets aren't just arcade tickets? They're actually real money. You could walk up to the counter, exchange them for cash, walk out of that arcade, and spend that money on anything else in the world. But your brain is stuck in arcade mode. You're so conditioned to think, I have tickets, I should buy prizes, that you forget you could literally just leave and spend your money however you want. I know this sounds ridiculous when I put it this way, but this is exactly what most of us do with our money. How they keep you stuck. Think about it. You work 40 hours a week somewhere. Could be retail, could be an office. Doesn't matter. You trade in your time for money. That's step one. But the second you get that money, the whole world is designed to take it back from you. Your landlord wants it. Your phone company wants it. Streaming services want it. That coffee shop on your way to company wants it. The ads you see on your phone want it. Everyone's got their hand out. And here's the really messed up part. The company you work for knows this. They already calculated that most of what they pay you is gonna cycle right back into the economy. They're not worried about paying you because they know you're gonna turn around and spend it somewhere else. You work at the arcade. You get paid by the arcade in tickets. And then you walk back to the prize counter and spend all your tickets on arcade prizes. But wait, it gets even more sinister. Because everywhere you look, there are reminders about the prizes. You go home and turn on the TV. Commercials showing you all the cool stuff you can buy. You scroll through your phone. Ads everywhere showing you more prizes. You drive past billboards on your way home to work. More prizes. More stuff. More things you need. Everything is designed to keep your mind focusing on the prizes. On the stuff you can buy with your tickets. You just spent all day working at the arcade. And now every screen, every ad, every billboard is screaming at you to come back and spend your tickets on more arcade prizes. And the crazy thing is, we don't even realize we're doing it. We're trapped in this cycle. The real problem, the real issue isn't even we don't make enough money. Though yeah, the real problem is we've been programmed to think earning money and spending money are the same game. I got a raise. Now I can afford a nicer apartment. I got a bonus. Now I can finally buy the thing that I wanted. Your income goes up. Your spending goes up. It never ends. You're always at zero. Always feeling broke. Because no matter how much you make, you find a way to spend it all. This is called lifestyle inflation. And it's probably the number one reason why people who make 6 figures still feel like they're living paycheck to paycheck. The solution: pay yourself first. Okay, so how do we break out of this? There is really only one way. And it's so simple it almost sounds dumb. You have to pay yourself first. Here's what I mean. Let's say you make 2,000 every 2 weeks. The second that money hits your account, and I mean the second you took $200 and you move it to a completely different account, an account you don't touch. An account that's not for emergencies, not for just in case, but for building wealth. That $200 is yours. That's your cut. That's paying yourself for all the work you just did. And then, with the remaining $1,800, you pay rent, you buy groceries, do whatever you need to do. But you already took care of yourself first. Why 10% works? Now, 10% might not sound like a lot. And honestly, if you're really struggling, start with 5%. Start with whatever doesn't make you panic. But here's the thing. If you can save 10%, you're already doing better than most people. Most people save literally nothing. And before you say, I can't afford to save 10%, let me ask you this. Do you have Netflix, Spotify, Disney Plus? Do you grab coffee on your way to work? Do you order food when you're too tired to cook? I'm not judging. I do these things too. But the point is, we all somehow find money for stuff we don't really need. We hammer gauge money on convenience and entertainment without even thinking about it. Humans are adaptable. Here's the secret. If someone told you that starting next month, you're only gonna make 90% of what you currently make, you know what would happen? You'd survive. You'd figure it out. You'd find a way to cut back on something. We're incredibly adaptable. We always find a way to make it work. So why not do that on purpose? Why not force yourself to live on 90% and keep the other 10% for yourself? You'll adjust. You'll make coffee at home a few more times. You'll meal prep instead of ordering out. You'll find the money. And in the meantime, you're building actual wealth in the background. Alright, so now you're saving. You're paying yourself first. That's huge. But let's be real. If you're making minimum wage, saving 10% isn't gonna make you rich anytime soon. So we gotta talk about the other side of the equation. Making more money. Learn valuable skills. The good news is, we live in the most insane time in history for learning stuff. Everything you need to know is on the internet for free. You don't need to go to Colleague and rack up 100k in debt. But here's the key. You need to learn things that people will actually pay you for. Some examples: video editing, graphic design, copywriting, social media management, basic web development. Pick one thing. Spend 30 minutes to an hour every day learning it. Watch YouTube tutorials, take free courses, practice on fake projects. In 6 months, you'll know more than most people. In a year, you can start freelancing. Guard your attention. But here's the catch. You gotta protect your time and attention. Right now, you're probably spending 2 to 3 hours a day scrolling on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, whatever. And look, I get it. It's designed to be addictive. But that's 2 to 3 hours every single day that you could be learning a skill that will make you money for the rest of your life. Just ask yourself, is what I'm doing right now moving me forward? Or is it just keeping me distracted? Entertainment is fine. Take breaks. But if you're broke and you're spending 20 hours on entertainment while spending 0 hours on building skills, you're choosing to stay broke. Where is your mind? And here's something that might sound like motivational BS, but it's actually true. What do you think about reveals where you're going? Are you excited about the next season of some show? Or are you excited about financial freedom? Are you excited about video games releases? Or are you excited about how to build a life when you don't have to stress about money? I'm not saying you can't enjoy things, but if 100% of your energy is focused on consuming entertainment, then 0% of your mental energy is focused on building a better future. Make your money work. Don't just let it sit there. Okay, so you're saving money. You're building up this little stack. What do you do with it? Here's the thing, and this is gonna sound counterintuitive. Just saving your money in a regular bank account is actually the second worst thing you can do with it. The worst thing is not saving at all, but just letting it sit there, also bad. Why? Because of inflation. Every year, your money loses value just sitting there. Even if you're saving it, the dollar itself is worth less and less over time. If inflation is 3% per year, and your saving account gives you 0.5% interest, you're actually losing 2.5% of your money's value every single year. Plus, and this is the part banks don't want you to think about, when you put money in the bank, you're basically loaning them your money, and they turn around and invest it and make money off of it. They're doing with your money what you should be doing with your money. Start learning to invest. So you need to learn how to invest. And I'm not gonna sit here and give you specific investment advice because I'm not a financial expert, but I'll tell you the general idea. Some options people use: index funds, real estate, starting a small business or a side hustle, investing in yourself through educational equipment. The key is diversification. Don't put everything in one place. Spread it out. Invest in yourself. And here's something people don't talk about enough. Investing doesn't mean always the stock market. Sometimes the best investment is in yourself. Maybe you buy a nice camera and start doing photography on weekends. Maybe you buy equipment for a side business. Maybe you pay for a certification that will get you a better job. If you pay $500 on something that helps you make an extra $200 a month, you've paid for it in 3 months. After that, it's pure profit. The point is, your money should be working for you, not just sitting there slowly losing value. No get rich quick. Look, I gotta say this. There is no such thing as getting rich quick. Anyone who tells you otherwise is trying to sell you something. But you can get rich slowly. You can build wealth over time. And the earlier you start, the better off you'll be.